Targum Ruth, Ruth 2:2. Va'amarat Ruth Moavita, LaNaomi Ezeo Ka'an Lachakla Va'eknosh B'shivolin, Batar Da'ashkach Rachamin Ba'enoi, Va'amarat Lah Izili Varati. And let's go back to the beginning. Here we have conjunction, Aleph Mem Resh, verbal root. It's all perfect. Third person feminine singular. She said. Now this would be Ruth as the subject. Ruth said. And it's not just Ruth, actually. It's Ruth, the Moabite, as we've seen before, to Naomi. The Aleph Zion Lamed, verbal root. It is a pa'al imperfect first person common singular. I will go now to the field, and this is kaf nun sheen as a verbal root, and I will gather. This is the gleaning verbal root. It's pa'al imperfect first common singular, among ears of grain. And actually I want to stop there just for a moment and just read to that point. So Ruth the Moabite said to Naomi, I will go now to the field, and I will gather among fields of grain. Now, of course, this is not something that's actually envisioned in the law about gleaning among the fields of grain. You're supposed to follow behind, which is what happens in the narrative. But more importantly, let's look at these two words right here. So let's refer to the BHQ for Ruth chapter 2, zoom in and look at those two words, and now the textual note at the bottom of the page. We see that the editors have pointed out that both of these forms are in error in the Leningrad Codex, and that there are other Masoretic manuscripts. Here we have MA, which is the Aleppo Codex, which have the correct form according to the expected rules of Hebrew forms. Let's take a look at the Aleppo Codex for Ruth chapter 2 and those specific words. We see right here for the Lamed Kof Tet verbal root, the Dagesh is correctly placed on the Kof, as you would expect for a PL. And then here we have the Dagesh in the Sheen that was missing before, that we need for this to be the correct form for bait plus article. So all that having been said, we refer back to the Aramaic, and we see that the Targum does not appear in the BHQ textual notes, because here we have an indefinite form, among ears of grain, not among the ears of grain. So all this is just interesting reflection upon the relationship between the Hebrew and the Aramaic for the first part of Ruth 2:2.